The air crackled, a familiar yet mysterious sound that seemed to hold secrets within its static. A symphony of static filled the small, dimly lit room, creating an atmosphere thick with anticipation and the promise of discovery. Four figures huddled around a table, illuminated by the soft glow of vintage radio equipment. Their faces were shadows, but their eyes gleamed with focus and determination. The pungent aroma of solder hung heavy in the air, a testament to countless hours spent chasing signals from the ether. Each whiff was a reminder of their dedication and the intricate dance of technology and passion. This was the world of the Night Owls, a group of amateur radio enthusiasts bound by their love for the forgotten art of radio waves. They were modern-day alchemists, turning static into stories, noise into knowledge. There was John, the seasoned veteran with calloused fingers and a patient ear. His experience was a guiding light, his wisdom a beacon in the dark. Beside him sat Sarah, her quick wit as sharp as the soldering iron she wielded. Her hands moved with precision, her mind always a step ahead, ready to solve any problem that arose. Across from them was David, a young prodigy with an uncanny knack for deciphering. His ears could pick up the faintest signals, his mind could decode the most complex patterns. And then there was Emily, the newest member, her eyes sparkling with the thrill of the unknown. Her curiosity was infectious, her enthusiasm a breath of fresh air. They were an unlikely quartet, drawn together by the allure of the airwaves. Each brought their own strengths, their own stories, creating a tapestry of talent and tenacity. Each night they gathered in John's basement, their sanctuary from the mundane, their portal to a world unseen. It was a place where time stood still, where the outside world faded away, leaving only the hum of the radios and the thrill of the hunt. Tonight, however, the familiar hum of static held a promise of something different, something extraordinary. The air was charged with excitement. The static seemed to whisper secrets, hinting at a discovery that could change everything. It began subtly. A faint pulse beneath the white noise, a rhythmic throb that piqued their curiosity. John, ever the skeptic, dismissed it as atmospheric interference, but Sarah, her intuition piqued, insisted they investigate. They huddled closer, their faces illuminated by the soft green glow of the oscilloscope. The signal was faint, almost indiscernible, but it was there, a ghostly whisper, weaving its way through the static. They listened intently, their hearts pounding with a mixture of anticipation and trepidation. David, his fingers flying across the keyboard, isolated the signal. It was unlike anything they had encountered before. The rhythm was deliberate, artificial. This was no random burst of energy. This was a message, but from whom? And what secrets did it hold? Days turned into nights as the night owls toiled tirelessly, their eyes straining under the dim light, their minds racing against the clock. The signal, they discovered, was a complex series of numbers, a cipher that seemed unbreakable, a puzzle that taunted them with its intricacy. David, his youthful face etched with frustration, spent hours poring over codebooks, his fingers dancing across the keyboard, each keystroke a desperate attempt to crack the code. Emily, her background in linguistics proving invaluable, helped to identify patterns within the seemingly random sequence, her keen eye catching nuances others missed. They knew they were onto something big, something potentially dangerous, a discovery that could change everything they thought they knew. The air grew thick with tension, each breath heavy with anticipation and fear of the unknown. John, ever the voice of reason, urged caution, his calm demeanor a stark contrast to the growing anxiety around him. But Sarah, driven by an insatiable curiosity, pushed them forward, her determination unwavering despite the risks. They had come too far to turn back now, their exhaustion overshadowed by the drive to uncover the truth. As the final layer of the cipher peeled away, a chill ran down their spines, the gravity of their discovery hitting them like a tidal wave. The message was clear, concise, and utterly terrifying. A revelation that shook them to their core. It spoke of a government experiment gone wrong, a cover-up that spanned decades, a dark secret buried deep within the annals of history. Section 4. Echoes of a cover-up. The message was a chilling narrative of a secret government project from the 1970s. Project Nightfall, as it was called, aimed to develop a weapon of unimaginable power, a device capable of manipulating human consciousness through radio waves. The message spoke of a catastrophic accident, a surge of energy that had devastating consequences. The project was immediately shut down, all evidence erased, or so they thought. The message was signed simply the Canary, a chilling reminder that someone knew the truth. Someone who had been watching from the shadows. Fear gnawed at the edges of their excitement. They were in over their heads, but they were also the only ones who could bring the truth to light. Section 5. Whispers in the static. The night owls became increasingly wary. The weight of their discovery pressed down on them, a tangible presence in the room. They began to suspect they were being watched. Strange cars parked outside their homes, unfamiliar faces in the crowd. Whispers followed them like shadows. Paranoia seeped into their sanctuary. John, his face etched with worry, suggested they go to the authorities. But Sarah, her voice steely, argued against it. Who could they trust? The message was clear. The conspiracy ran deep. They were on their own. They continued their work in secret, their every move shrouded in secrecy. The signal became their lifeline, a thread connecting them to the truth and to the danger that lurked just beyond their reach. Section 6. The Shadow Within. As the night owls delved deeper, a subtle shift occurred within the group. Emily, once bright and enthusiastic, grew withdrawn, her eyes clouded with a strange mix of fear and excitement. She became increasingly distant, her contributions to their decoding sessions becoming erratic, almost careless. Her once unwavering enthusiasm seemed to have morphed into a chilling detachment. The others, consumed by their own anxieties, barely noticed. The air in the room grew thick with suspicion. John, his instincts honed by years of experience, noticed the change in Emily's demeanour. He couldn't shake off the feeling that something was amiss. But what? Were they simply cracking under the pressure? Or was there something more sinister at play? The answer, he feared, was far more unsettling than he could have imagined. Section 7. The Devil's Frequency. They were close now, tantalizingly close to uncovering the identity of the Canary. Every clue they had painstakingly pieced together led them to this moment. The air was thick with anticipation, each breath a testament to their relentless pursuit. The final layer of the cipher remained, a complex algorithm that guarded the sender's identity. It was a digital fortress, a labyrinth of code that only the most skilled could navigate. Hours turned into days as they worked tirelessly, their eyes glued to the screen. Excitement crackled in the air, tinged with an undercurrent of dread. The room was a cauldron of emotions, each person teetering on the edge of discovery and disaster. They knew the stakes were high and the pressure was palpable. They huddled around the computer screen, the glow reflecting in their wide, anxious eyes. Every keystroke, every line of code brought them closer to the truth. The tension was almost unbearable, a silent scream that echoed in their minds. Then it happened. The door burst open, bathing the room in harsh light. The sudden intrusion shattered their concentration, their hearts pounding in their chests. Armed figures stormed in, their faces grim, their movements swift and practiced. The room was filled with the sound of boots hitting the floor, the metallic clink of weapons ready for action. John, Sarah and David watched in stunned silence as Emily calmly walked towards the intruders, a chilling smile playing on her lips. It was a smile that spoke of secrets and betrayals, a smile that sent shivers down their spines. "It's over," she said, her voice calm, devoid of emotion. "The signal is silenced." Her words were like a dagger cutting through the tension, leaving a trail of cold dread in their wake. The words hung in the air, heavy with betrayal. The room seemed to close in on them, the weight of her revelation pressing down on their shoulders. It was Emily. She had been the one all along. The canary. The realization hit them like a tidal wave, drowning them in a sea of disbelief and anger. The night owls, blinded by their pursuit of the truth, had been nothing more than pawns in a deadlier game. They had been manipulated, their every move orchestrated by the very person they trusted. The signal, their lifeline, had been their undoing. It was a cruel irony, a twist of fate that left them reeling. They had been played, masterfully, ruthlessly played. The realization was a bitter pill to swallow, a harsh reminder of their own vulnerability. And as the red and blue lights pulsed outside, reflecting off Emily's cold, triumphant smile, they knew their pursuit of the truth had only just begun. The game was far from over, and the stakes had never been higher. They would have to regroup, rethink, and rise from the ashes of their defeat.